should I be reaching out to? I'm not doing a good enough job. My business isn't going to make any money, and I'll never live the life of my dreams. I get it. I've been there. But what if the secret was this? Turn off your camera to turn on your camera. Okay, so I hope you can get your head around that. So here's 3 problems that I've faced when starting my side hustle, and hopefully you will relate to them. By the way, hello everyone, I'm Alicia Sayuli, and welcome to Mum with a Side Hustle. This is the first time trying out this new platform, so hopefully we can get everyone in. Laura, maybe you can message Jade and see if she can get in on our live right now. Okay, so 3 problems I've had when starting my side hustle. The system I was told to use by my network marketing company does not fit for me. Okay, it did not fit. Cold calling was burning all my precious friendships and connections, and I felt so awkward. Another problem I felt desperate for the business to work, and every interaction I had so much weight on it. It was probably just stuffing everything up. And here's the last one. I had to trim my budget back so much. I didn't get to buy or do anything I love anymore, and it became really hard to be positive. Okay, I want to know if you guys have faced any of those things. So we're going to unpack some of these ideas today because you are hardworking, creative, fun, entrepreneurial mums. But some of you are stuck in survival mode, and we just need to get ourselves out of that space. I've recently left my home of 18 years. I sold up everything with my family and stored a whole lot of it. And this gigantic move has afforded me some incredible clarity, despite how much upheaval it's been. And I don't want to stray too far from personal branding, so we're going to swing back round to that by the end of the call because it's a key strategy for us building our businesses and building ourselves. So let's just see if we've got some of our mamas in the Zoom room. Jade, I don't know if you've made it. Jade, are you in? She says she can hear us and see us, but she's not actually in. Did you click join session? We'd love for Jade to be in here. She's always got something beautiful to say. Now, Laura and Rita, since we're both testing this out, can you unmute yourselves or do I have to unmute you? How does that
Hello?
work? Oh, you can unmute yourself. Okay,
Yes, I can.
Okay, Rita, since you're unmuted, lay it on us. What has been the biggest pain point for you in growing your business or in even starting your side hustle?
I guess fear of failure
Yeah,
and being scared and nervous and that kind of stuff and feeling like I don't have time.
yeah, that time pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, not enough time to learn it, not enough
Yeah.
time to do it, and then
Yeah.
every time you try and do it, you're
Something gets in the
constantly.
way. Something happens. You get, yeah.
So do you second guess the things that you've actually done?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Okay. Okay, what about you, Laura? I want to hear your pain points.
Pain points?
Yeah.
No. I feel like like stepping into the new identity that I didn't think that I was an online space person, but the more you post or the more you come up with different ideas to post, it's actually harder and you can step into that identity. So that was a big one. It takes a long time to put something out there, go through your content or whatever. And that would be the other thing is remembering to randomly take little snapshots of your day or special moments. That's another thing I'm growing into.
Yeah. I haven't actually checked your Divine Life diary since you've been away. How's it going with your posting? What's that been like for you?
Yeah, it was good. I was overthinking reposting because it's been a while since I've posted.
Yeah. Oh, and we lost her. But I, I do agree with that. Once there's been a little bit of a gap in posting, it can be hard to get started again. Like getting back into that rhythm, getting those ideas flowing, do that sort of thing. I'm just going to hit the invite button here and see if I can share this link to our chat and see if Jade can get in. Try this. We are live on YouTube, so I hope that if you're watching this later, you can still follow along and that this is still valuable for you. This is the first time trying this new thing. Okay, so any other pain points that you might have, I'd love to hear them in the chat. Pain points, maybe you can relate to what I was sharing, finding it hard to. Oh, Laura's coming back in. That's good. Finding it hard to follow the systems. I like what you said, Rita, about finding time. Laura, you're back in.
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, do you remember what you were saying?
It just dropped out. Yeah, I think I was saying about how I was overthinking starting again after my month of not posting. Yeah. And
Yeah,
I was overthinking it, and someone had just said to me, just start like as if nothing happened. Just pretend like
yeah,
it's the day after. Yeah. So I did, and that kind of got the juices flowing. I think we can overthink things way too much.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think it's that like desire for me, it's a desire to do a good job. Like I actually want to do a
Yeah.
great, I want to create something beautiful. Um,
Like a flow.
yeah, like I
Yeah.
know with the busyness of us like moving, sometimes I get an idea and I want to really post that, but then other times there are moments where it's like, oh, I just haven't done a post, so I need to do something. And so breaking that perfectionism and just getting something out there. So like I did last night, put a few photos together and just shared where we were at without trying to like curate the story, which is what I want to do, right? Like I want to curate the story. I want to really add value, give people something beautiful. But it's more important that I actually produce some content and that I get it out there. So yeah, I chose progress over perfection last night. Okay, Jade, it's so cool. I'm sure that you are here in the background. Oh dear, and Kieran's having trouble getting in, her laptop's not working for her. Okay, so let's talk about this little idea that we've chatted about before about how you are the brand. So, this is something a mentor shared with me, and he said, I think about myself as the brand. I just want to have baby cuddles right now. My baby's not here, Rita. I love watching you guys have a little cuddle.
She just fell off the chair.
Oh, darling. Okay, so the idea that you are a brand really fascinated me, and it kept coming after me, and it really has changed my approach to business and achieving my goals. So, um, if I find something that fascinates me, gets me curious, then that's something I know I need to follow and pursue. So, becoming the brand that others want to follow before you focus on making money, you need to focus on potentially spending some money on yourself. I know that can be hard if you've been in a place of survival, but here's some things that you really do need to be investing in. I don't like using the word should because that's a lot of pressure and not everyone can invest in the same ways. But here are some things that will help you become the brand, will help you become the person that you want to be, and the person that people will want to follow. Because we want to continue thinking about the difference between a business brand and a personal brand. A business brand is a product, something that you are selling, a business that you want people to notice, but a personal brand is yourself. And so, to become the personal brand that people are interested in and want to follow, you're going to need to change, grow, reform yourself, become someone even more than who you already are. While we all have intrinsic worth and value because we are human, you guys will be aware that there is a gap always between who you are and who you probably could be. And we can spend our lives feeling down on ourselves because we think we're not worthy or not good enough. Or we can actually change that up and become the person that we want to be. And I've spent a lot of time in the social sector with people thinking about self-esteem. But I think self-esteem doesn't really answer the problem that you face when you realize there's a gap between who you want to be and who you are currently. Self-esteem is just this sort of idea that we can make you feel better, but really you want to become the person that you were created to be, like the infinite possibilities of who you were created to be when God dreamed of you, dreamed you up. You know, every single one of us were dreamed by God, and He was not limited in His dreams about you. So there is even more that you can become, and I really, really want to push into this today. It's not about measuring up to anybody's expectations or becoming anything like anybody else. It is discovering who you were created to be, the dream God had in His heart when He made you, and unpacking that woman, you know, becoming that incredible woman. So I've got 4 things here that I believe will help you become your brand, but also make your life more enjoyable, fill you with joy, and make you a joy to be around, make you a blessing to your family, your children, show up with value to your community. So here we go. Are you ready for them? Okay, number 1 is invest in your mental and physical health. Okay, this is the absolute base level foundation, and I think mums can be really crap at this. And I know why. It's because we give birth to a baby, and then the baby requires us to give it everything. I had this moment when I had my first son, and I thought, you know what? I'm like Jesus. I've given everything. I do not sleep if he can't give it to me. I do not eat if he doesn't give me a chance. I've given up my whole body. Like, my body went through so much to carry this baby, give birth to this baby, now breastfeed this baby. I'm like a Jesus. Now I know I'm not Jesus. But for me, Jesus was the one who gave up everything for me, right? Like, he died on a cross, he shed his blood, like all of that stuff was a sacrifice for me. And now I find myself in this position doing it for a child. And so we can, as mums, we can stay in that place, but that really should only be a season. And it's a season of refinement, a season of growth. But your mental and physical health is the foundation, and it needs to be invested in. And yes, we have to go with the rhythm of the season, especially when we have babies. But once that season is through, then we do need to find ways to refocus and add to our health. There is a season of rest when you have a baby, but then getting back into spaces where we can grow. So think about it this way. If you're sick, if you're overweight, if you're tired and unhealthy, your brain will not be working at any sort of capacity. And your brain is actually your biggest asset. It is your most important asset, and it will not be able to help you if your mental and physical health is not invested in. So there's like heaps of different ways we can do this: our diet, exercise, supplements, the way we think. I've just started a really amazing book that's all about how we think, the power of the subconscious mind. I think it's something like that. And I'm just learning so much. Dr. Caroline Leaf has so much great information out there about your brain. And one thing that I really want to bring forward is that our thoughts, we're not a victim to our thoughts. We are the producer of our thoughts. You have the ability to I'm you have the ability to think what you want to think. Now, a lot of us think that we're stuck in cycles of thinking, and we can be. But you are really, really a powerful person, and you can choose what you think. And if you become aware of what you're thinking, and you become aware that those thoughts are unhealthy about yourself, unhealthy about your environment, about your future, then it's really, really important that we start taking a record of those thoughts and we start transforming our minds, because our minds really are the beginning place of our health, our mental health. So, yeah, number 1, we want to be investing in our mental and our physical health. Okay, here's number 2: invest in how you look. Okay, this is your appearance. This is your hair, your makeup, your skin, your clothing, your environment. Invest in how you look. Um, when you look at yourself, are you someone who dresses like you are inspiring? Are you someone who puts on clothes every day and looks in the mirror and is like, man, that woman, I like who she is? And now this is not about a consumer mentality. This is not about being Paris Hilton or a Kylie Jenner or someone with the right bag and the right clothing and the right sunglasses. This is about being able to look in the mirror as a woman and say, I look good today. I'm proud of the way that I've shown up today. I have taken 5 extra minutes to do my hair, wash my hair, put on a little bit of makeup. I have added to myself. And it totally changes the way you think about yourself, the way you present yourself, the way you interact with people because of the way you're dressing. And so that is why it's worth the investment. Even if it's the cheapest makeup that you can buy, even if it's just that tiny new thing that you need to sort out your wardrobe and feel good about yourself. Okay, I can see that people are chatting. I'm going to open the chat. um, where are we? Oh, there we are. Oh, Pam, you're here. She can't turn on her screen and mic. Oh, dear. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Maybe there's a limit on who can all be in the room. I don't know. Okay, girls. Well, I'm so glad that you are here, and I'm just going to keep checking. Finish to stay. Keep chatting, and I will look at this. Okay, cool. So that was 1 and 2. You ready for number 3? Hop around on my notes. Oh, Rita, we might need a mute. You are muted, my friend. Okay. Awesome. Okay, number 3, we need to invest in learning. Okay. This could be things that are free or things that are not free, right? So podcasts, audiobooks, coaches, and paid and unpaid communities. You become the people that you are around. And so it's really, really important that you invest in something to be around the people that have what you want. And I mean, I'm so thankful that you guys show up almost every single week, all of us. And I hope that the encouragement of being in this community is part of what is moving you forward in your life. Maybe you're here for some information about personal branding, but maybe you're here because you just vibe with who we are and you are excited and you want to move forward. Maybe you guys can drop in the chat, like, why do you bother coming? Like, why are you here? And I think that's a really beautiful and important thing to think about is who are you going to put yourself purposely around? I once heard the idea that a mentor doesn't have to be a person that you are with in real life. A mentor can be like someone that you love their books and their content and you just keep reading it. All of that counts and makes a big difference to growing yourself. Okay. You like hearing from me and hanging out with me. Isn't that cool? I agree. I like hanging out with you guys too. It feels like our weekly check-in, right? Laura, the support and the network and the powerhouse of like-minded mamas. That's right. Mamas on a mission. Okay, I've got one more. So we'll just cover them again. Invest in our mental and physical health. Invest in how we look. Invest in learning, and invest in the last one is invest in relationships. Okay, so that's all 4 of them. Okay, if you're here and you're just in the chat, why don't you put in which of these you've put emphasis on in the last year, or which of these would you like to put emphasis on? And what we'll do is we'll get Laura to unmute if she's okay with that, and maybe she can share. Go for it.
Well, I'd like to think I invested in a lot of those, but relationships is something that I'm really trying to focus on and having like a deep connection, and that is around like I'm dictating my environment now, because if it's not fueling me, it's not worth my time. So I'm being a little bit cutthroat, but I'm navigating that space. I would like to spend more on myself. Because as a mum, like we do already, like we do spend money on our nutritional drinks and our patches, and like our raising royalty. So we are we're doing a lot of them, but I'd like to take them to the next level. Yeah.
Exciting. And so you've got a vision for that, obviously. Do you know what your next thing is, or that will just come as you have the ability to do that?
A bit of both. So I have been focusing on like doing the 100 Dreams Challenge through the Master the Code, which is something that we've been through, both of us. It's like a continued reset of your mind. So I've been trying to, I've been trying to imagine what it would be like if self-care, like going to the beautician, was like not a big deal, and I could just go there for the afternoon and I get, I don't want to use a lot of makeup, or I just want to enhance what I've got. So imagine if I didn't have to do my own eyebrows. Imagine if, like it'd be pretty cool. Or my toenails, or it would just be. So that's part of a vision I'm having right now, is like getting someone else to take the hairs off my legs. What? That'd be cool.
So has there been a shift for you? Like in the past, was that kind of like I shouldn't spend money on that? And has that changed?
Yes, a little bit. It's been like that's not a priority. I can do it myself. It's not even reachable. I'll just do what I'm doing. But now it's kind of like, well, that would be neat, and I can. It's in my reach. I just have to have a vision for it, and it's part of the plan. It's part of to have a financially free lifestyle, and we can put that in the plan.
And I think it's really interesting, the point you're bringing up. At what point do we start investing in these things? Because a lot of that to me, like even 6 months ago, I was like, well, that shouldn't be a priority. Like food's the priority, which it absolutely is, like, right? Like let's get the food on the table. But like if I start to invest in how I look, right? Like I get my hair done. I wouldn't even need to get it done that much for it to feel a little bit lighter and how I want it to look. Um, I feel like it would pay me back in the way I show up. Like I'm gonna be feeling better, and I'm gonna talk about this soon. I'm gonna be feeling better to come to my social media if when I take a photo of myself, it looks like who I want to be, you know? And so often, like, we don't spend money on the supplements for ourselves or the gym membership for ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
because, you know, because we don't. Like, I mean, like this has been such a journey for me, but if I actually had realized earlier to invest in my personal self, I think that I would have shown up differently even in the last 6 months. And so now I'm in this experiment of like, okay, I'm just going to invest in myself, and
Mm-hmm.
um and I believe that the dividends are going to pay off like massively. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And things will always be there. As mothers, we sometimes tend to put a lot of things first, but you have to work in order for them to return. But they will be there. Yeah.
Pam, you've made it and you're not muted. Woohoo! It's so cool to see you. I'm so sorry I changed the game on everybody, but I think this is going to be better for us. But tell me why you love this conversation.
Can you remind me of the four?
Oh, yes, sure. Absolutely. So invest in your mental and physical health, invest in how you look, invest in learning, and invest in relationships.
Oh, I feel like it definitely bits of all of the above. Learning's probably been a big one. I've definitely dug into a lot more podcasts, and I'd love to invest in some courses and things like that as well. I haven't really had a budget for learning.
Yeah.
Very, very small, but not much of one, but definitely want to dive more into that. But I am learning. I feel like I'm learning at a fast rate at the moment. I can kind of relate to everything Laura just shared as well. yeah, I don't invest a lot in the way that I look, but I have invested a little bit more this year than what I have for a while. So just a few more skincare products and makeup, and I mean I'm having to do video recordings, so I have to look
That's right.
yeah, better than average.
So, Pam, like
um,
for you, like of those four, which one would you say has been your foundation?
mm,
Like the first thing that you've really invested in? Or if it is there kind of like a two like winners, like two foundations or more?
I think probably the biggest for me has actually been more like the physical health,
Yeah.
which I want to invest more in fitness. I desperately need to, and I haven't done that yet. But
Yeah.
in terms of like supplements and you know eating things that are helping my body, just I think I've definitely stepped it up in that regard. Probably more out of necessity than anything else.
Oh, that's so it's such an interesting thing, right? Like, here I am saying we need to do this, and like before I jumped on the call, I've been wanting for a while some sort of like supplement that's kind of like a base one. Because I'm busy, and it's hard to get I know that it's best to get all those nutrients in my diet, but it's so much harder to buy and cook all of that food than it is to just get a supplement that's a great quality. And so I was looking at one and I was working out the price. So I've just started another new business with Jade, Life Vantage, because I loved her skincare and I wanted to invest in that for myself. And so yeah, I was looking at a daily powder, and I was like, oh, this is how much it is. Should I get that? So I've been waiting till my husband gets home to have a little chat with him, and I know he'll be like, yes, just do it. Um, but yeah, like there's this gap, right, between like imagining I want to do this and it's going to be good for me, and then like giving up the money that it costs to to get it going and not knowing if the investment's going to be worth it. So let's just
Mm,
keep each other updated on on the return for investment. Is that the thing, right?
yeah.
ROI?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, Pam. Okay, Rita, did you want to add anything to this conversation? You can give, no, she's all good. Okay, so I just wanted to link all this back to our personal branding conversation because that obviously has been, that's kind of what we talk about here is personal branding and other things. So if you are your brand, then as you grow, your levels of influence and capacity will grow. Okay, so as me, Alicia, as I grow, my influence and my capacity will grow. So when we last week we talked about business brand versus personal brand, and I hope that was really valuable for you guys. Because I think that it's easy to slip into when you are not investing in you, right? If you're not feeling good about yourself, it's actually easier just to post about your business. And that's great because momentum is important. But we're looking for long term. The reality is that if we're going to work a few hours a week, we're not going to see like a massive amount of business growth right at the beginning. But if we work a few hours a week across years, then we're going to be compounding something. And I think working only a few hours a week is like almost one of the most amazing strategies because if you only have a few hours, you can only do the most important things. So, yeah, that's what I'm going on. But anyway, I want to recap those two ideas and add a little bit of information from today. And then I want to go into sort of a third level of online presence. Okay, so today we're going to just end our call with the three levels of online presence, and I'm going to explain them in context for us as mums and businesses. So, number one, we talked about product first or business first approach. And this is when you post about your product or your company, but people don't really know about you. Okay. And this is where most of us start, especially in network marketing or small product based businesses. So the focus is on product launches, promotions, and sales. It's often built around business pages or brand accounts. But the problem can be that it can just feel one dimensional, limited visibility, a lower kind of level of trust. I'm just recapping because we have talked a lot about all of this. And if you stop posting about your product, people may forget that you're there. Okay, like the other day I wanted to find someone who had posted on Mum with a Side Hustle. I won't say who it was. I wanted to find their business again because I wanted a product that they had, and I went looking for them, and I couldn't remember who they were. Okay, so because the approach had been just like, I mean, I haven't, her social media hasn't been popping up for me. That's not necessarily her fault, but that's just an example of a product based approach. If you're just putting your product out there, then people may stop remembering where you were or who you were or what your business name was, if you stop posting. Okay, and if I had searched, it was fitness wear that I was looking for. If I'd searched fitness wear, it would have, it's still been really hard in the whole World Wide Web to find the person I wanted to find, right? So for example, you know, someone might be posting, here's my new candle scent, you get 10% off this week. People might like the candle, but they don't necessarily get to connect with you. And when they're ready to buy the candle, they may just buy something else because they can't remember where you're at, or you stopped posting because you had another baby or something like that. Okay, number 2, personal brand builder. This is where we've been working to be at. So this is where you're building trust and visibility around who you are and what you care about. Okay, so we're opening up ourselves, not just a product. This is a shifting. This is a shift. Okay, so you start to share your story, your values behind the scenes, not just a product. And I believe if you're joyful and happy in yourself, proud of your work and growth, you're going to feel like showing up. And that's why I think that whole thing about growing as a person in those 4 areas that we just talked about is so important, because you'll feel more confident to show up on social media. So the focus in a personal brand builder is on connection, authenticity, and storytelling. And you're building yourself as the brand, not just your offer. You can pivot businesses, you can grow, you can evolve, and your message can change, and you're not necessarily going to lose your audience. So, for example, last week I posted a video of our last moments at home in Taupo. And when I look at that video, I know that I don't look perfect because I'm red faced, I'm messy crying. But I posted that because I wanted you, if you saw it, give me a thumbs up in the chat. But I posted that because I wanted you to know me. And I wanted you to, it's a value of mine that you see that growth isn't skipping through flowering fields, but it's messy and it's stretching, and that's actually beautiful. So, you know, I might show up at times like this looking really, my hair might look nice and my makeup might be together. But, you know, like I might show up comfortably ugly crying because I want you to know that I'm giving up a lot to walk into my next season, and I'm willing to do that, and I want you to have the courage to do that as well. And so it's going to take a messy crying video of myself. Okay, so that's the example. You don't always have to go make a messy crying video of yourself. But people are going to buy from you because they like you, they trust you, they relate to you. I hope that that video, you know, they might have done that. It increased trust. And that creates a sustainable foundation. Okay, and now I want to lean into a third kind of level of online presence. It's a new thing. So as I've been on this journey of learning personal branding, of course, I've been hearing different people talk, and you know, there's just so much information, new ideas out there. And I came across the idea of a key person of influence. And a key person of influence, or a KPI, is someone who's seen as the go-to voice or leader in our niche or our community. So this is something I want to put out there for you to start thinking about, right? And then we're all in different places. Some of us are still brand building. Some of us are trying to get to the point of personal branding. But I want us to stretch ourselves and consider that every single one of us has the ability to become a key person of influence. I don't want you to stay where you are and think that's going to be my limit, okay? Because I know that each of you, each of our mum tribe, and maybe other mums watching, have so much value to offer, and that you can grow to become a key person of influence. So let me give you a bit of information about that, and we're going to lean more into key person of influence probably next week, because there was too much information just to bring on this call. So becoming a key person of influence is a long game, okay? In a few years, I believe that I, Alicia, will have grown a reputation and not just an audience. So a reputation is when people call on you to speak about something. They want to collaborate with you on that topic, or they see you as a leader in that area. People start coming to you. I've had tiny glimmers of this. I had a friend ask me to jump on her network marketing teams. She had like a week of training, and she was like, can you come and talk about personal branding? Awesome. Like, I've got no one for something. I wouldn't say that I'm a key person of influence, but I was a voice, that worked for her. I did a little recording for Pam. Like, it was only 10 minutes, and it was only the information I've grown in the last 6 months, but I've become known for something. I've spent time, I've grown myself in a particular area. So in the long term, my goal would be to become someone who people would think of when they think mums with personal brands, mums who are smashing businesses even though they love being a mum, and they don't have to give up their time with their kids for this. Like, this is something that she did in her part-time, I can do that too. So, as a key person of influence, your focus is on thought leadership, reputation, and impact. I think where this is going is that I wouldn't just share with you information and be known for something. I become a leader in an area so that you become something as well, right? So it's not just me getting bigger and stronger. It's whatever I share with you and who I become, my influence makes you better at what you do. And I personally am very, very motivated by that idea. If I was just doing this for a profit or just doing this for the follows, I just think it would feel really shallow to me. Like, it just doesn't fit my values. But thinking that I could be someone who, like, I'm not pursuing becoming a speaker on a stage, but if I had that opportunity, I would want to be there because I would believe that I had something that might help another woman or another person become bigger, become stronger, become happier, be the mum they want to be the person they want to be. So when I imagine myself as a speaker or someone that someone wants to collaborate with, that's why I'm thinking of that, because I am walking into Alicia with more impact, Alicia with something that can bring value to others. Okay, so you're not just known as a key person of influence, you're recognized for what you stand for. And I hope that what I become recognized for is a mum who encourages other mums and gives them the courage to rise in their own calling and their own dreams. So you can still sell a product, a course, a service, or a brand, but the trust is already there. So, for example, it could be I help busy mums build joyful brands in just 3 hours a week, and this is the mindset shift that changed everything for me. Okay, as a key person of influence, people quote you, tag you, refer others to you. You have influence. Okay, so here's a little picture to help you understand it more. So if you were selling your product, it's like baking cupcakes and standing on the corner of the street hoping that people will walk past. Okay, that's the brand building stage. If you are building a personal brand, it's like inviting people into your kitchen and showing them why you bake, who you bake for, and what baking means to you. Okay, so our level of depth is going deeper. And you can think about your posting like this. It's not just my product, it's why I bake, who I bake for, and what baking means to me. Okay? And then this last level, this becoming a key person of influence, is when your cupcakes are in demand because you're known as the woman who makes the best cupcakes. And now people ask you to teach them, speak to them, or collaborate with them. Do you guys like that? I thought that analogy, it's not my analogy, but I thought that was a really cool analogy. Cool, okay. I've got one question. I hope that somebody wants to answer. Here we go. So what would shift if you started building your brand around you and not just what you sell? Or this is another question we could chat about. Would you feel more confident to pivot, promote, or try something new if people trusted you first? Okay. Yeah, what are you guys thinking? Laura, what's your what's your brain doing right now? Any highlights or thoughts from the conversation so far?
I just love talking about the same things and implementing them where we can. I think that you there's so many different ways to get the result, but what you're speaking is so reachable and it flows so well. So I think that and it's making like everyday relationships and online with a purpose, a tool to use to get to the finish line. So I really enjoy the simplicity of how you describe things. Yeah.
So, if Divine Life Diaries was to add value to someone's life, what is the value that you want to bring, Laura?
I feel like it's changed since the first time I posted, and I think that's okay. I think as I'm finding myself, I know that part of it I have to be a slightly more raw and do like just genuine me speaking videos about where we were, where we are, and where we're going. To sort of map it together. I think sometimes I think that it has to be a pretty collage video with music and kind of I'm building a storyline of what's happening behind the scenes, but I think take the barriers off and be brave and be bold and put yourself out there. That's something I'm really stepping into. What I think people, I want to share value in the fact that you can be a mum to however many children. I homeschool my children. We have some amazing dreams and goals, and I still manage to run the house and have those, teach my children, and want more. So I want to just share that when you are awake to living
Yeah.
and not just a zombie and being busy with dead time, we can achieve so much. And because we're mums, the more we find out that, and we want the best for our children or our family, and that involves time and money. So if we can really achieve in that space, I want them to know that life can look pretty cool. Yeah.
Do you think there's a lot of mums out there who just feel stuck or
Oh,
in survival mode?
absolutely. Yeah. And I don't even think that they think that this is obtainable or reachable. Yeah.
I think that there's a
Or
big
maybe oh, sorry.
I think there's a big belief out there that, winning in life as a mum is kind of reserved for some and not for others.
Yeah. Yeah. And potentially, I think getting your space. I mean, I was just on Mum with the Side Hustle, and that's growing this year, just in a few months, isn't it? So I think that the more we can get people on calls and stuff and see or hear and listen and comment, I think there's so much value in that.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
awakening them to just not surviving, that they're
Yes.
allowed to have dreams, goals, ambitions, and there's so many options out there to get there.
Yeah.
You just have
And
to be brave.
it's that opportunity, like as we share, as we talk, as we communicate, it breaks down the barriers to believing that that's possible, that
Yeah,
life
I think
can be
that's a huge
different,
thing.
you know.
Yeah, and that's why I was thinking about doing those videos and on TikTok instead of making out of content. It's just showing up and being like, right, today I'm sitting down and I'm mapping out 5 minutes of how I'm going to tackle this goal, and this is why we want it. And I think the more mums that see, other mums are having that time and there's options out there, then they're like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah. And it's exactly that. It's those 5 minutes and it's knowing what to do in your 5 minutes, right? Like it's knowing how to use 5 minutes to affect your future. I know, like for Rita, like she's in like a crazy season right now where it's everything's flipped on its head and it's not how she imagined it was going to be, and they're in a new place with like not no like they don't have the family support and they don't have an au pair and it's just not how she imagined it. but like it's knowing what to do in those 5 minutes that you might get by yourself. Or do you guys remember that viral video of the mum who locked herself in the pantry? Does anyone remember that video? There was this crazy viral video before things really were going viral all the time. I can't remember what she locked herself in the pantry, but she locked herself in the pantry and she videoed herself, and the children were like banging at the pantry door.
She was eating snacks, wasn't she?
Say that again.
She was like munching on some snacks, wasn't she?
Something like that. Yeah, but it's like, 5 minutes before I fall asleep, maybe exhausted, like taking 5 minutes to write down my wins each day and then plan my goals for the next day. Like, even that alone will move the needle forward when you are feeling stuck or when life is really, really hard. That is a great strategy. So if anyone wants to have that one, what's one, maybe Pam when you're ready, but Laura first, what's one little strategy you want to offer some mums out there of how you've moved the needle forward when you're under pressure?
Getting up early.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
And last night I had a broken night's sleep, which, it makes it trickier, but I'm now at the point where I'm like, well, actually, I'm going to feel better if I get up and have these couple of hours to myself and achieve what I want than sleeping and getting up and being rushed and to get everyone else sorted. So that has been a huge thing for me, is getting up early and having some consistent dailies that I do, and getting fit again has been huge.
Yeah.
That
Beautiful.
yeah.
Pam's probably gone to get her baby. And Laura, for you, like a lot of that's come from doing Master the Code, hasn't it? And we've talked about that before, so we're going to talk about it again, because it's
Yes.
powerful and effective. And yeah, Pam, if you're ready, we'd love to hear one needle shifting thing that you do regularly to help move things forward for you.
I don't think I'm good with the regular things.
That's all right. What do you do? Like,
In
because
all
I think it's
honesty.
cool. Like, someone like Laura might be really regular with getting up or working out, but like, there's so many of us. We're all different. What, like, you do something because you've just fully recorded a massive online course. You've run two of them now. Like, you've achieved a lot in the last little while. How did you do
Yeah.
that? What did you do?
I think for me, I have to just take hold of the inspiration. Like when something lands and I have a vision for something, I just have to run at it.
Yeah.
And I think it's like willing to just carve out every bit of time that you can to actually take hold of that. Because I think for me, if it became like, okay, I'm going to break this down into like 1 hour a day or like, a few hours a week or something for
Yeah.
the whole year or something, I would lose passion and
Yeah.
I'd lose energy. But that's also just the way I'm wired. So I think I'm the sort of person that once there's a vision and inspiration and I can plan out a goal that I need to achieve, then just like running hard in the moment when I'm feeling inspired, I think is something that I would say for people that are like me.
Do you think that your rest is your strategy too then? Like once you've run hard at something, do you give yourself permission to like finish it, or like how do because obviously like you don't run hard all the time, do you?
Yeah, at the moment I'm trying to have a season of rest, and I'm not that good at it. But I have slowed down a lot, and I've noticed even my health. Suddenly people are walking up to me and they're like, man, you look so healthy, and like your face has so much more color, and like all those kind of things. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't realize. Like today, a little lady testimony for us, but like this is my first 28-day cycle in like 6-7 months, so probably since I started the idea cooker. But just like
Yeah.
I think it was connected with the thyroid and the stress levels and stuff, but it just shows that like even though I'm still doing a bunch of stuff, bringing the stress levels down, my
Yeah.
body's really happy about that. And so this month it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
my body's just getting back into a healthier place. So I think that's good.
That's
I
so
think I
good.
need to be a little
Yeah.
bit more measured about what I do with my intense times.
That is so cool. It's so encouraging. I'm so glad to hear that for you. Yeah, and it's also like not taking like massive bites, eh? Like if you need to work on your physical health, just choosing one thing to start working on,
Mm.
or one strategy. We like literally cannot do it all. That's just not possible. And yeah, I think yeah, just keeping on going at that thing that you've hoped for, and thinking really positively about that, like thinking like this thing I'm trying is going to be powerful and effective and it's going to do something in my life. Like let's bring all of our agreement to things rather than like, oh, talk yourself out of it. I met a lot of people and they talk themselves out of their winning. Like they're like, I'm not sure if it's going to work. And it's quite normal to talk like this, but I just don't think it helps us in the big picture to be acting in one way to help ourselves and then talking ourselves out of it on the other hand. Cool team. Oh, you're mute. Oh, you're muted. Okay, I'm gonna finish up there today. It's been so great to see you guys. Thank you so much for jumping on our call and thank you for being willing to try the new tech. Um, it's cool. We'll see if how the recording comes out, and I think I can even edit it, so I might be able to take out some of the the bits that we don't want. But thank you so much for giving it a try. Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, Laura. I so appreciate you guys showing up. You bring so much value, and all the best this week with whatever investment you want to make in yourself. I bless that investment to multiply many times over. Okay, team, have a great week.